and to expand, to begin to see the possibility that life holds. See, this is a brand new day, a brand new opportunity. This is a chance for us to reach for the stars, knowing that even if we got part way, that would be a success. So we want to view life from a vantage point of, yes, I can, rather than, oh, I don't think I can. We want to begin to shift those things. So in order to continue excelling and ascending in consciousness, we must be open to move to higher heights. We're all here in this lifetime living the best that we can. And as we apply our spiritual learning and practices, we begin to do better. We expand our awareness and collectively create a better world for everyone. So this helps us to reach those higher heights. We're practicing boldness in life. We're practicing courageous thinking. We're using our imagination instead of for doubt, fear, worry. We're using our imagination for beauty, grace, and goodness, success and fulfillment, something exciting and remarkable. You know, when I think about the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, you know, it mentions a land far away where dreams come true, but that land far away is actually right here. It's within us, not somewhere out there, but rather right here. And as we tap into our individuality, as we tap into our own brilliance, as we begin to see what it is we are good at, what it is we enjoy most, what brings us excitement and delight, when we begin to live from there, then what happens is doors begin to open, shifts occur, and there's a great exhilaration that comes from living our lives on purpose. So as we grow in consciousness, of course, we move beyond whatever's been holding us back. Now, how do we know what's holding us back? That one's simple. I just have to look at my life. Is there an area where I don't have enough money to pay my bills? There's something to look at. That would be an experience of lack. How do I shift that? If I'm looking at my career and realizing I hate my job, oh, okay, let me go back and find out what it is I love, what excites and delights me. And can I come to a place of acceptance so that I can begin to move forward? Remember, what you resist persists. So if I'm resistant to my current reality, then I am in a state, right? I'm in a state of, you know, negativity and destruction. But if I open my mind, open my heart and go, wow, here's where I am. Where is it I'd like to be? So I begin to pray about or treat about the idea that within me is infinite potential. And that potential I can tap into. And as I begin to figure out my path, my purpose, my reason for being, what happens is I am, you know, feeling this energy that begins to bubble up, and it's exciting and it's remarkable. And I feel absolute elation as I begin to focus on that dream and that possibility. It's kind of like, you know, we're scaling a mountain after mountain in life, right? Sometimes we hit a plateau and then we sit and we stop and we rest. But sometimes when we hit that plateau, we quit. We stop forging forward. What if instead we took a breath and relaxed? What if we were peaceful with what is? You know, we've all heard of, or most of us have heard of, this thing called spiritual bypass. Now, spiritual bypass is that I'm going to use positivity or my spiritual exploration to not feel or be with what is happening in my life. And that's very destructive. Very destructive. We want to be with what is. So if we're having a day maybe where we feel emotional, maybe we're upset about something, maybe we're feeling overwhelmed or frustrated, they're just feelings. They're not good or bad. They just are what they are. If we immediately go into, oh, I got to make this go away, and we start pushing those feelings down, we end up creating harm for ourselves and for the world around us, because consciousness creates everything. What we want to do instead is be with it. Sit in the emotion, sit in the feeling without judgment. That's the hard part. I had a day on Friday, I was crying, I was feeling bad about stuff. I was like, oh man. But I didn't try to make it go away. Did I want it to go away? Oh yeah, you bet I did, right? Who wants to be in that vulnerable, messy place? But you know what? We all go there sometimes, and it's not bad, and it's the human experience. You see, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Now, if we eliminate our humanity, we've missed the reason for being. What we want to do is have it all. So on Friday, when I was feeling bleh, sat in it for a while, cried a little bit, talked to my prayer partner, my spiritual coach, going, here's what I'm feeling, here's what's going on, here's what's happening. And sitting in that place of love and in that place of prayer, we move through that dark night of the soul, because that's how it felt to me. It was a dark night. Moving through that back into a place of, yes, all is well. See, sometimes we have to be with what is. Well, not sometimes. We always need to be with what is. So what's happening in your life? Where are you at? What's going on? Instead of pretending that it isn't, instead of trying to say an affirmation and make it go away, just sit with it. I remember years ago listening to a recording by Carolyn Mays called Spiritual Madness. And it was about that dark night of the soul. And what I learned from that recording was when you sit with the anguish, the grief, the anger, the frustration, whatever, when you sit with it, when you allow yourself to be in it temporarily, what you do is you begin to see what it is maybe you're reacting to. You might have a memory of when you felt that way when you were younger, and you can begin to dismantle the conditioning that created the possibility for that experience. And then we move on. So we allow ourselves a certain time period. I was interviewing somebody who talked about being in their life experience, which was really hard, a health experience. And yet they went, well, I give myself 24 hours. Oh, poor me, poor me. And then at 24 hours, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Been there, felt it, did that. And now I'm moving on. I'm pulling up my socks and I'm stepping into my life, and I'm going to do it my way or different. And we have that opportunity, because when we change our thinking, we change our lives. When we change our thinking, we change the current experience, because every experience is neutral. When I look at it and call it bad, now it becomes a negative one. It wasn't until I named it. And how I know that is that, Kathy could have one experience, and Sharon could have another one, and Ruby have another one, but all be in the very same place at the very same time. Why isn't everybody having exactly the same experience? Because our perception, our upbringing, where we are in the world today, all of these things are determining how we will experience each moment. So it is individual, it is personal. And what we want to remember is that the universe, God, spirit, first cause, whatever you want to call it, that energy can only respond in the affirmative. So whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm doing, the universe is saying, yes. Yes, my beloved. I am such an idiot. Yes. Right? Whew. Don't you just love that? I know there's moments when I wish that were not true, where I could sit back and go back to, when I first had my spiritual awakening, and I can pray and go, okay, God, fix me. But what if I'm not broken? What if you're not broken? What if, in fact, each and every one of us is created in absolute perfection, unique and special? Now, what does unique mean? One of a kind. So if I'm one of a kind and you're one of a kind, what is that? What is that one of a kind? What is it that you do, or how do you show up in the world, or what is it about you that actually is bringing something into the humanity today that is essential? But you're the only one who can do it. Nobody else can. Wow. There's some responsibility. And it's not an overwhelming responsibility, or it's not a you should do this or you should do that. It's there's a calling inside of us. There's a desire inside of us that's huge, that's saying, yes, I am the I am presence, that God is not somewhere out there, but right here being me and being you. And as I begin to tap into that infinite potential, that incredible power, I start to see what's possible for my life and for my journey. So in the science of mind, we believe that heaven is a state of consciousness within us. And as we move to higher heights in our spiritual experience, through our sacred relationship with spirit, it can form kind of a heavenly state. Now, what do I mean by a heavenly state? Yes, I'm peaceful, I'm joyful, I'm comfortable, I'm satisfied, and I feel successful at whatever level. Whatever's going on for me feels right. And because everyone's experience is unique, mine is my own. So I always suggest that we live in our own lane. So what I mean by that is that I can sit back and look at Pierre and go, well, Pierre should do this or do that or do the other thing, and then he'll have this great life. I have no power in his life. I have power in mine. If I'm out here telling other people what to do, how to do it, where to do it, or if I'm even doing that in my mind, oh, you should do this, you should do that. What I've done is I've completely disempowered myself, because I'm in somebody's lane, not my own. I only have power over my life, my forward momentum. So when my life is moving along, feeling really good, it's because I'm in it. I'm participating, not at a level of egoic consciousness, but rather from that very subtle divine essence within, exploring the potential and possibility that spirit has in my life. And as I begin to live from there, what happens is I model a way of being in the world that just might inspire somebody else to find their own authentic, beautiful, glorious nature. And we can do that. We can do our spiritual practice. It might be prayer, it might be chanting, whatever it is that takes us into that place of reverence, not for something outside of us, but rather a reverence for a knowing that God as me is powerful, intelligent, creative, loving. Wow. How beautiful is that? That we can come to that place of knowing that there is one power in the universe, many paths to get there, but only one power. And we come to understand that power as a power for good, a power that's available to everyone because it is everyone. We talk about oneness, but comprehending it, that's a little harder. Everything I think, say, and do, I take into the universal consciousness. So it impacts all life everywhere, not just mine, right? When I think destructive thoughts, that goes into the universal subjective mind, lowering the consciousness of all that are receptive to it. There'll be those who go, yeah, that's not in my lane. I'm just going to stay where I am. And we begin to experience greater and greater feelings of excitement and delight and joy and bliss and whatever. And we begin to live from that holy boldness, in our daily experience. We begin to stand and really reach for what it is we truly desire. And as we stretch and extend our reach and grow in spiritual awareness, our vision begins to grow as well. We start to see where it could potentially manifest. And manifestation doesn't happen by accident. I have an intention and I allow myself to sit in the energy of that so I can begin to bring it forth in my life. So what is your big dream? Like, do you have a big vision for your life? Something you really want to do that you're really excited about? And maybe you don't know how to do it. You haven't figured out what your next steps are. What if how is not your job? What if simply being clear, with a clear intention, with a sense of, yes, I know I can. All of a sudden that begins to open doors and a pathway comes in front of us that we can begin to step on one step at a time. All we ever have to do is put one foot in front of the other. And by doing that, we begin to create something that is powerful and remarkable. We have to look past the horizon that we have in our minds. We have to look past the walls, the doubts, the fears, the worries, the messages we got as children. We have to look past that and go, yes, yes, that happened. Yes, that life experience was there. It doesn't define me. It doesn't define me. You see, in this moment, I get to choose again. In this moment, I can begin to think in a new way where I go, just a minute, I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. Have I had experiences of being victimized? Yeah, but I'm not a victim. And so I don't talk about myself as a survivor. I'm thriving in life. I'm thriving in life, not because I've, decided it's okay to have a bad experience. No, I'm thriving in life because the past is where it belongs, in the rearview mirror. What's here and now is now what? What do I bring into this moment? How do I show up in this moment to be a light in this world? Not one day, not someday, but today. What is it that I can do or be or express right now that brings me into a place of celebration for the life that is? You see, we sometimes get a little fanciful thinking happening in New Thought, where we start wishing for things, and the wishing we think is going to create it. I'm here to tell you, it will not. The wanting of things or new experiences will not create those things. Wishing and wanting suggests I do not have. Those are lack ideas. And the universe says, yes to more wanting, yes to continue wishing. We have to anchor it in a new way. We have to anchor it in a new way. We have to eliminate the doubt. When doubt comes up and we're maybe doing a prayer treatment and a doubt comes up, we don't ignore that doubt. We don't go, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm health, I'm health. No, 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 no. We don't do that. Well, we sit back, let's say we have a health concern. And that doubt, we're treating about health and we're talking about I'm healthy, strong, vital, and vibrant. And then that doubt comes in going, yeah, but the doctor said this or that. At that moment, not later that day or next week or next month, at the moment when I notice the doubt, I address it. And how I address it is not to go, get out of here. No, no, no. I go, oh, wow, I'm feeling doubt. Well, what I know is that this universe, God, is unbound, unlimited, all powerful. So this doubt really is nothing of itself. So I take a breath and I go, ah, yes, limitation, lack. You have no power here. You have no power here. The power in me, through me, as me is this divine presence. Cancer has no power in my life. Lack has no power in my life. The only power that is in my life is where I focus my attention. When it's focused on spirit and the idea of yes, yes, then everything begins to flow. Doesn't mean there aren't bumps in the road, doesn't mean there isn't a mountain to climb. It just means I scale it with a greater sense of ease, or as I'm journeying along, I know this too shall pass. This too shall pass. That's a powerful statement. And my favorite movie I talked about earlier this week with classes was, The Three Idiots, right? That's my favorite movie. And it's a Bollywood style film. It's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. But the main character, his constant statement is, all is well. All is well. All is well. If we come to each moment, if we can come to this point in our life experience where we can say, in the midst of discomfort, all is well, the universe says, yes. And so our moment of discord or disagreement or disruption all of a sudden simply becomes a step on the rung to the greater success. It's teaching me, I'm learning from it, I'm discovering, I'm awakening to something inside myself that's beyond what I thought. Maybe it's expanding my vision, or maybe it's altering what I think it is, moving me out of ego consciousness and back into my divinity. You see, we're here not to put in time. We're here to live fully, to live with excitement and delight, to really rise to the occasion of being all that we were meant to be. We are the vision of the world that works for everyone. We're the ones that have been called. We're here. And it's up to us to begin to think along lines of possibility and using the imagination for creativity and possibility thinking rather than doubt and fear. Because that's just using the imagination in a downward spiral. Let's use it in an upward spiral that expands consciousness. Ernest Holmes says we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. Now, how much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. I want you to think about that. How much of the good of the universe is mine? All of it. Say that to yourself, all of it. All the good there is, all the good that could come into my life, all of it is what I deserve. He also said we're surrounded by an intelligent force and substance from which all things come. How many times have we thought, oh, it's my boss, it's my employer, it's the government, it's no. The source is the universe, always. And things move and change when we're in that state of receptivity. So I would like you, over this next week and maybe more going on, spend some time assessing your own personal life balance. Are you living in the place of, yes, I can, or in the place of, oh, it's never going to happen, or worry? And don't beat yourself up because you're worrying. Instead, go, wow, if I wasn't worried, what would I be spending my energy on? And we can begin to correct. We can correct that and begin to move into this consciousness of greater possibility and opportunity. You see, it's always up to us. So I have an affirmation for you. And the affirmation is, I continually ascend to higher heights in my spiritual awareness. Maybe Sharon could put that in the chat. I continually ascend to higher heights in my spiritual awareness. I continually ascend to higher heights in my spiritual awareness. Yes, yes, you can. Yes, I can. all is well.